Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode here on Warframe. Now, I've done a beautiful few episodes on how to get a bunch of different, Warframes. One being Oraxia, Uriel, which we're currently on right now, Noko, and even Cuvero. Now, there are a ton of Warframes that I have, and a lot more that I don't have. Personally, I have just been, whoa, my apologies. I have just been really vibing with Uriel here, and thanks to some guides and whatnot, the main weapon, my primary and secondary, don't really need any updates, but I'm going to show you all how to get different prime parts anyway, for those who are curious. Because if you look here, Uriel, Araxia, Cuvero are essentially the only ones that I have that, along with Noko, are the only ones that aren't prime. Now, these are the ones that I've shown off, mainly because they are farmable, they're new, and they might be what people are interested in. There is, of course, a lot of others. There's even Kome, which will be another one we will go over. But the rest of them are all primes. So, with that as our knowledgeable point, I want to show off how to get them. Mainly just, random primes for now. Eventually, we will go into essentially how to get specific prime parts and all of that. There is, of course, the option for those like me, or I should say, somewhat like me, who do not have the, relics and whatnot in order to get all of them. It's a bit difficult, but we'll go over one right now. Let's see. Let's look at a Bratton here. So as you can see, the blueprint is in the silver line. If we go and type in Braton though, we actually get a bunch of different relics here. Now, for this specific gun, there are way too many relics in my opinion. But it is what it is. As you can see here, for Axie, the Branton Prime Blueprint Receiver are both in the silver area, which means that they are, I believe, uncommon. This is common, uncommon, and rare. Now, then there's obviously the stock, which is, as you can see just from this area here, the stock is in the common area. So if you are looking to buy some blueprints, it is possible that they will be very cheap. You can also, obviously, as you saw there, get the what should be in the silver, in the bronze sometimes, it really does change up. So always be looking around, seeing, hey, which one is in the common area, which one isn't, like this is in the common, and this is in the common. So now, essentially, when we find, bam, another common, so that is 3 parts of the Braton in the common area already. Really, really interesting. I didn't know I had anything for Caliban Prime. That's actually something I'm now going to be farming, with the knowledge of the fact. But either way, we're now going to go over and we're going to inspect a very, very specific mission. This is under the Void Fissures tab. You can see here, it looks like this little like tendril thing going out of the ground there. We're going to go all the way to the bottom and look for something called Conjunction Survival, or even just a normal survival. I much prefer defenses, to be honest, but I haven't ever found any Omni or Omnia that is a defense mission. Either way, we're going to set our lobby to public, and then we're going to go over to here. And now we're going to just type in a Baratin, and we're going to choose, let's go with this. We can get that. I, again, didn't know I had another Caliban thing here. That's actually really cool. Again, I will probably be farming that. But for now, just so that I don't go and make a fool of myself, I'm going to go with, let's, there. Bratton Prime Stock. So we're going to equip this. We don't have to level up, thankfully. It is in the common. It is then going to find us a beautiful squad who is essentially going to carry us, because we are not going to be strong. We're going to do a little bit of a wiggle around. Wiggling is always a good show of friendliness. Welcome to a public lobby in Warframe. So, when you are doing these little fissure missions, you can see you need to collect what is known as reactants, which drop from these corrupted enemies here. Now, each of these corrupted enemies are going to spawn in from these, which are fissures. These fissures, again, like I just said, spawn in the corrupted enemies, which will then in turn spawn in enemies that drop what is known as reactant. Reactant is also then in turn, obviously, how you open up the relic. So we want to collect all 10 of that, and then, like I said, I prefer defense because it's every 3 waves. Right now, we're going to have to wait for a total of 5 minutes. We can actually use the Necromech. I myself don't actually have the Necromech summon equipped because I don't know actually how to get in them. It has been, to say simply, a very, very long time since I unlocked the Necromech. Either way, we're now just going to spam Noko abilities. I have been rarely enjoying Noko. He has been a complete, rarely enjoyable thing to play as. Another thing I figured out is that if I just toss these down, I essentially have infinite energy. As you can see at the bottom there, these will just randomly like do their little blub blub, and suddenly I have energy. So now we can go around as a little baby, fat, booty-cheeked up mushroom and jump around, fly around, enjoy ourselves, relax. Why not? Again, we're just gonna now chuck down another 2 of those, infinite energy, chuck that there. Then if we want to, we can chuck those like that. Bam! You can now AFK again. Really cool Warframe. I actually love him. He is very close to becoming my favorite. I don't know if they are asking if we are all in a group. Is that what they're asking? I will never know. Yeah, our ability range is, I'm just gonna put a waypoint so that we can all just chill here. My ability range, oh, that's massive. I want to get it to a point where eventually I can actually just chill like that, like this, where the range is actually just this big. One day I will obtain such beauty. We're just gonna start chucking our mushrooms around the place so that they kill. And that should about do it. Yeah, another thing we can do is we can just toss out a number 4. It'll bounce around over there. We can toss another one over here. That'll go all bouncy. We're gonna chuck down a few of these because that way we get our energy back. And I mean the damage buff, or essentially the ability strength buff that we got, has made it so we are just infinitely spawning in a ton of energy, which is crazy, actually insane. Now, as you can see, all of the players have actually, through the communication of one guy, the nice thing about Warframe, for those that are always worried about entering a toxic environment or something, the Warframe committee is the most welcoming committee I myself have ever found myself to be a part of. And like, I have always tried to find more calming measures and stuff in games in order to make sure that it is all relaxing, enjoyable, and whatnot. And Warframe is one of the situations where it just was like that from the get-go. Rarely is just an amazing community to be a part of. So if you guys ever have any questions, there's a Q&A chat even, which you can access when you are outside of this area, outside of a mission. There are people there who are just random players, always willing to help out. Oh, looks like we're being hunted. I'm gonna just quickly run over here to grab up some more oxygen. Now, sentient scouts, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. When you're doing a mission like this, just get their attention. It doesn't really matter. You can grab their beautiful little attention and it'll spawn in a very specific enemy. That enemy will then in turn drop you some lovely jubbly loot. So do this again. Look, enemies. And then you just kill them. Now, one thing to be warned about sentients is they actually adapt to your damage types. So essentially, if you cannot kill it fast enough, it will adapt to the damage type and it will just be a little bit tanky. Not something that is fun to face against, but I mean, hey, it's not really that big a problem. Now, as you can see here, we have a what is this person? What is this again? A Varuna, Saren Prime, a Uriel, and then obviously me and Noko. But bam, that is us done. We're now going to extract, essentially, just because I'm mainly just doing this for video purposes, and I don't want to prolong this for too long, unless we don't get our part. So, as you can see here, I mean, I'm going to be honest, we didn't get our part, which is a bit of an upsetting time. I actually hate the Bronco. I'm going to take the blueprint because I haven't mastered it, but I hate it. That's as much as I'm going to say on this matter. So, Really cool thing about the Void Fishers is, again, you can now just go and you can equip the Braton Prime, same one as you had it last time. And I know I said I was going to dip now. I'm actually going to stay. We're going to stay another wave. Be warned for these. These guys here are a bit of a nuisance, I'm not going to lie. And one of our allies have even died from them, which is, to be honest, understandable. We're just going to pick the bad boy back up. Head him nicely running throughout those streets again. We're going to give him a juicy little heart there so that he knows he is loved and welcome within this world. And then we're just going to set up our defenses again, because why wouldn't we want to just relax? That's why we have Noko. Another fun thing you can obviously do is just chuck this and it'll bounce between all your mushrooms. Look at it play a harmonizing beat. And of course you can just toss as many as you want. Oh no, enemies. Here, have a bouncy ball. On the house. Damn, that was a lot of damage. If only I could get it to do damage like any other time. But I can't. Anyway, we're gonna go around now. We're gonna be back when the next reward is here. Alright, so with that, another wave down, essentially. Now, the really cool thing about Warframe is, as you can tell if you look at the top right, yeah, I know my left and right, guys, don't you stress. So, on the top right there, you can see one of the people have actually left. Now, this is because they didn't want to be here anymore. Completely fine. Now, for us, there it is. There is, that's Bronco. Not Breton. What are we trying to farm again? Goodness me. I believe Bronco is the one other thing that we have been getting. But again, you can just keep on going. That is the lovely part about this, is that as long as the other people don't leave, or even if they do leave, the game doesn't kick you out yourself. It allows you yourself to keep on going. We're going to just go with another random relic just before we get a no relic thing like Skippy there. I believe Skippy is there for going to be leaving. Again, this is completely fine. So, when a player leaves, all it does is, if they are the host, it does what is known as a host migration event, where the game will go back into like a little bit of a loading screen, and then you will be stuck for just about 2-3 seconds while the game reloads everything, and you kind of move on. So as you can see, Skippy has indeed left. I'm also going to leave because we've gone 2 parts for the Bronco, and I want to show you guys the next steps. So we're going to also just take a bit of a dipping time, and we're going to get out of here. Now, again, normally I would personally just do these a bit solo. In fact, I used to just do them solo long ago. I say long ago, not too long ago, actually, now that I think about it, until I actually just kind of got, you know, I got my knowledge up, essentially, where my friend who played this game so much that he had an infinite amount of Warframes and all that he could ever dream for, told me, hey, it is by far a much better choice to actually play with people, as you get way more options. Especially when you're farming for not only materials, but also Warframe parts. So as you can see, this is what I mean by, as a prime example, this is the first time me and this person have ever met, and it has been nothing but lovely interactions. I am a tiny little mushroom man, and he is shooting me with his shotgun. Maybe it is because I have not shown him my luscious cheeks. My friend. Here, have a look at my luscious cheeks. I believe I love this. I love Noko. He is the funniest Warframe to me, and to be honest, that's all you really need. Most Warframes nowadays are really strong, and I mainly suggest with like what I've done, where you see my whole long list of Warframes, is I've just been seeing, hey, this one looks cool, hey, this one looks cool, hey, this one looks cool, and I go and get them. But I mean, that's kind of what Warframe is about. Is you see something that's cool, you say, hey, I want that, and you go get it. Same with all of them. So, like Ash Prime, for instance, the actual, like, Ash was my first Warframe that I actually got myself. I loved him so much that I wanted the Prime version of him. And now I have so many Primes, it's kind of crazy. But let's go back onto what we were actually talking about here. So, now that we've gone and gotten 2 of the things for Bronco, we actually just need one more part, the Bronco Prime Barrel. Now, here comes the really, really interesting thing about Warframe. Let's say you spend all of your relics, you have been farming Bronco all this time, and you, for the life of yourself, cannot get this barrel. So, what you do is you open a thing, it's called the Warframe Market, right? or you go to this lovely chat over here. It is the trader. So this person's selling a whole prime set for 50 platinum and a bunch of stuff, right? Myself, I use the actual Warframe marketplace, as that way I know I'm not getting scammed and get the best offers for myself. I can now just type this in, which is a thing that was sent to me by the Warframe people, and it'll allow me to, in a moment here, either get invited by this guy, or he might just tell me, hey, I'm not selling it anymore. But as you can see, that's how I've actually gone Hydroid Prime and Frost Prime, because I was not able to farm them. I didn't have any relics, and they are two people that I loved Frost Prime and played him for such a long time. Let me just let him know here. Not sure why. So we're just going to let him know. This has been an issue with Warframe recently, but I'm not going to lie, it could just be my bad internet. So we're gonna sort this out, get the trade done, and then I get to show you guys how to. Well, you guys have essentially already seen. You then will go here with your beautiful new thing, just like how I can do with Excel Tree here, which I already own. You can then build it. It does cost a lot of Oracle cells, which I will show you all how to farm Oracle cells and a bunch of other stuff in a probably the next episode, actually, as I am trying to look for some cool new things to show off while I farm other Warframes and find out the best way to get them. But as always, guys, this is actually where I'm gonna just leave it off. I'm gonna get the Bronco because I haven't like leveled it up and I need to up my mastery anyway. But I am gonna do that off camera. You guys now know how to farm your own prime parts, farm like all of that stuff. Again, I will show you how to get those Oracle cells and whatever else is needed in relations to prime parts in the next episode. But until then, as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys are enjoying this series where I'm just going over all the different cool things about Warframe. It's a completely free-to-play game, by the way, and doesn't require you to actually spend any money. I do as of recent, just because I actually want to support the devs, to be honest. But, as always, I'll see you all in the next one. I'm gonna go and finish this deal. Peace out.